If you have around $2,000 to spend on a new gaming PC, let me show you the best PC build that you can get for the price, and this will allow you to play at 4K resolution, ultra settings, and you will also get a 1440p maxed out experience. I will explain everything as simple as possible, that way if you are a beginner you are able to understand me. And I will show you the estimated performance as well. You will have the links to all of these components down below in the video description, and with that being said, let's start. First we have the CPU, the AMD Ryzen 7 7800X3D. This one is the fastest CPU on the market for gaming, so if you play high demanding CPU titles or you play esports titles where the CPU is important as well, this is going to be amazing for you. Then for the CPU cooler we have the Arctic Liquid Freezer 240 all-in-one liquid cooler, which is going to be plenty for our Ryzen 7 7800X3D, and it also looks beautiful. Then for the motherboard we have the MSI Pro X670P with Wi-Fi AM5 motherboard, and since we are working with the AM5 platform, you also get a really upgradable system over time if you want to buy a new CPU down the line. Then for the memory kit we have a really fast 32 gigs of RAM kit of DDR5 at 6000 MHz, which is going to be way more than enough not only for gaming but also for content creation and streaming. Then for the storage we have a 2TB Gen 4 SSD in the Crucial P3 Plus. This one is going to be really good for the price of $85. And then for the graphics card we have two options here. The first one being the RX 7900 XTX, which is the cheaper one and the best one in terms of rasterized performance. And the second one, if you want a GPU from Nvidia, get the RTX 4080. This variant is going to be more expensive, but I will talk about prices in a second. The RX 7900 XTX on a 16 game average high to ultra settings, it was able to average 113 FPS, which was the second best in the market, right below the RTX 4090. And then the RTX 4080 had almost the same performance, just a little bit worse, with 109 FPS on average on high to ultra settings at 4K. But you may want the RTX 4080 if you want to play with ray tracing on, because it has a better level of ray tracing, and also because you get DLSS 3, which is better than FSR from AMD. So if you want the best performance for the price, get the RX 7900 XTX. But if you want the Nvidia features, then get the RTX 4080. It's going to be about $150 more expensive. But if you don't care about spending those extra dollars, then I think it's worth the price difference. And then on that same 16 game average test, the RX 7900 XTX at 1440p resolution was able to average 181 FPS and the 4080 180. Both the same in terms of rasterized performance. And let me tell you, for 1440p and 4K resolution on high to ultra settings, these GPUs are ideal, and at the end of the day you can't go wrong with any of these two. Then for the case we have the Montech Sky 2 going for $80, really good value, solid airflow, and it comes with pre-installed fans, so you don't have to spend more money on extra fans. And then for the power supply, we have a 1050 80 plus volt power supply, which is going to be plenty of power for this system and also for future upgrades. The total price for the gaming system with the RX 7900 XTX is $2,044. I know it's a bit over $2,000 bucks, but if you want to keep the price under $2,000 or at $2,000, then I'd recommend you downgrading the storage to 1TB of Gen 4 SSD and upgrading it over time if you ever need more. And then the RTX 4080 variant is going to be around $2,200, but if you want the RTX 4080 and keep the price under $2,000, you can downgrade the CPU to the Ryzen 7 7700X and get a cheap CPU cooler that's going to be enough for that Ryzen 7. And then you will have the RTX 4080 and still get amazing performance when it comes to CPU demanding titles, because the Ryzen 7 7700X is still a great choice, and the difference is not that big, especially considering you will be playing at 4K or 1440p resolution. If you go with the RX 7900 XTX from AMD, you will be spending around $2,040 for the whole system, and you will be getting a great 4K and 1440p experience. And if you go with the 4080 and you want the best CPU on the market as well, it's going to cost you $2,200, but you will get the Nvidia features, which might be interesting for you. And then you can also get the RTX 4080 for under $2,000 if you downgrade the CPU, which is going to make your gaming experience slightly worse, but it's not going to be noticeable. And I think that it's a great choice if you want the Nvidia GPU and you want the whole system to be around $2,000. If you want a Prebuilt PC instead, because you don't want to build a PC yourself, I completely understand. You will have my video on the best Prebuilt PCs for November in 2023 in the top right of the screen. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. I will try to reply as fast as possible. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.